Okay, hello there everyone and welcome back to another PHP programming tutorial. So in the previous video we managed to do multiple operations on articles like inserting, editing and removing articles, right? However, not everything is fully it's not very accurate, and the reason for this is that sorry, go to admin here. Let me show you in a second. Admin 123 here, manage articles. Here we don't have the section that the article belong to, and when we want to add an article or edit it, there is no way to select the accurate section. So today we are going to add section into this one and see how that is done. So this is basically very straightforward. First we need to load all available section names and then send them to the page that renders the add article. Okay, so let's go to administrator and let's go to add article. There you go. So instead of going to the render page directly, we need to open database connection, get list of all sections, and we will use that. So let's work on that. Let me copy some code. So here we are going to open the database and here we will get the sections. So copy this code and go down. Where is that article? There you go. Okay, so there's here we are open connection and then we get the sections, and the list of sections is inside what? Inside this sections variable. So in the add article page, I need to loop over this one and create a select, right? So let's work on this. So let's go to add article. This is add article. Okay. And next we will do the following. We will go and say tr over here and we close it, tr. Okay, then okay, now what do we have? We have td. This is gonna be section td. Okay, very straightforward so far. And then we have td. Let me close this one. Okay, so we finished this one. Now we are going to add the select. Yeah, probably should have copied this. Anyway, so article section. Okay, article section. Now what do we want to display here? We want to display the name of the section, but if a section is being selected, we want to return the ID. Okay, so we are going to do this. PHP. Yeah, so here I'm going to start a for loop for I equals 0 and I smaller than count of sections. Okay, and then we have I plus and sections is being passed from the add article page, right? So okay, so what do we have to do here? First we need to make sure that the section is enabled, because if it is not enabled we should not select the section from the list. Okay, Or you know what, ignore that. That will be related to rendering later on, so ignore it. So all we have to do is to display the information in here. So sorry, so I'm going to output HTML. This is the HTML entry, but I'm gonna change this a little bit. So the value, this is gonna be sections of I followed by arrow section ID. We want to get the section ID. Okay, and maybe I change this to section ID, and the value here is going to be PHP. Oops, this is gonna be sections of I arrow section name. There you go, and that's it, and we don't need these two. Okay, so this should be it. So let's check the rendering first. Let's refresh and check this out. We have trips and guardians. These are the two sections that we have for now, right? So now dynamically, whenever we add more sections, this list will be updated. So let me go back again, go to sections, let's just add another section. So trips, gardens, okay, let's say lakes. Okay, love lakes, and add, go back, add manage articles, add a new article, and we have trip, gardens, and lakes. So you can see now this is a dynamic list, so whenever we add more sections, this will be increase. So let's update the code to get the section ID. So let's go to the administrator. Let's go to add article. There you go. So we come here. Now we are going to say section ID -1. If not post, this is gonna be section ID, then section ID. Very straightforward. Section ID, we get the value from here, and okay, yeah, so all I have to say is this one, section ID equal section ID semicolon, and we save. Now all I have to do is the following. Let me see, where is it? Make sure that the articles, does it have section ID? Yeah, it has section ID. Okay, that's awesome. So it seems this is it. This will add the section ID the way I want it. Okay, so this is gonna be, I'll write something random for now, whatever, yes, and lakes, and say add here. That's fine. Now nothing's being displayed here, that's fine, but let us check the database itself, and you will see that section ID is being set. So let's go to the administrator of the database, or phpMyAdmin. Wonder why this is very slow. Okay, so go to content management system database here. Wow. Okay, so we have articles here, so I'm gonna click this and check this out. You can see the section IDs here, and if we go to the sections, you will find that number 5, which is Number 5 is actually lakes. So all is working as intended. Now the thing is, well, we finished adding an article. We need to do something similar for editing an article. So let's go to the administrator logic here again. And where is the add article? Okay. So go up, go up, go up. Yeah, this is the logic. Oh, no, not this one. Go up. Okay, here. So I'm going to get this code again. This one only. I need this. And let me go to edit article. There you go. So I need to open the database. I get the article here and get list of sections, and that seems to be fine. So we get the list of sections. Okay. So I get list of sections. Now, where is add article? I'm going to copy this part. Control C. And what do we have in here? Let's go to edit article. And we press enter. We paste. Okay, that's good. And this is not finished. I want to show you something. Let me go to the back, manage articles. So if I press edit in here, okay, the default value is lakes for this one. It's not trips. And the reason is that we didn't specify, we didn't specify which value is being selected. So we need to add a logic in here, if that makes sense. So I will do the following. Okay, so all I have to do is say the following. I need to say if article edited dot section ID equals this one, sections dot section ID. In that case, all I have to do is echo selected. Okay, so what this does is basically inside the option tag, if I find a matching section ID, because this is looping on all the sections, it will output the word selected, which would result in making the correct entry, being selected in the user interface. So after updating this, I will go back and press edit, and you can see now this is lakes. So this got set to the correct value, as you can see. Very straightforward. Okay, so this one has been finished. Let's go to the do edit article in the administrator. So do edit article. Yeah, so we come here. This is gonna be section ID equal -1. And if it's set, this is gonna be section ID. This is gonna be section ID. This is section ID. You can see it's very straightforward, not very complicated. And we load this one, and then we will fill the values. This is section ID. This is section ID. Okay, so far so good. And now let's go to the code and let me go back. So now for these first entries, I didn't set the section ID. It's gonna work anyway. So garden, and I press edit. Okay, so if I go back and edit it, you see gardens is being selected. For the next one, I will just make trips and press edit. That's it. So first one gardens, next one should be trips, right? There you go, trips. And the last one should be lakes. And last one's lakes, so it's working perfectly. Okay, so now let's go on removing, right? So in the preview, we need to display the correct section here. Okay, so yeah, we could use the same trick. Okay, we have edit section, whatever, and basically section, oh, not edit section, edit article, I'm very sorry, edit article. Okay, so I'm going to use the same code, the same stupid technique here. So article edited. Now here I am loading all the sections, right? But basically we just need this name, one section value, right? Let me explain. In adding or editing an article, we want the user to select from the list of sections. This is why we need to let them load them all. However, when we want to remove things, we don't want to do that. Basically, an article already has a section, so we just want to display the name of that section, if it makes sense. So all we have to do, we need to load that section. So let's go to remove section here, and let's update the code accordingly. So not remove section, come on, remove article, sorry. Yeah, so we load the value, and then we have section equal sections get section by ID, and this is going to be db followed by article removed arrow section ID semicolon. So the section object will be loaded, and then we could use that to output the result. Let's go to remove article. Where is remove article? There you go, it's in here. So here we will say section, and input I'm gonna say section. I don't need the name field, but whatever. Section arrow section name, and that's it. So let's go back in here and refresh the page, and we have the section, as you can see. Very straightforward. Let's go back. So let's edit, remove the last one. You can see it's lakes, it's working. Now one other thing, when I display this page, I want to see all the available, I want to see the name, date, published, and the section name here being listed also. So one thing I could do is to load the list and loop on them. That's fine. But I could also, make my life a little bit easier by also, loading the name of the section right away and putting it in a property, for easier access. So let's go here. And let's go to articles. So what am I doing in here? I get the list of articles as you can see in here, right? And I'm getting the section ID, so totally fine. But I'm going to do the following as well. I will add a property, okay, section name, okay. So all I have to do now is simply list the fields, okay. So instead of okay, well, I'm gonna make it like this. So we have article ID followed by article name followed by article content followed by article published we have article published followed by article date followed by section ID followed by section name. Okay, so you might be wondering, where do I get the section name? Well, actually we are going to do a join. So the query is going to be from articles and sections where articles dot section ID equals sections dot section ID. This should be enough, and all I have to do is to say section name. This is going to be section name. There you go. And just to make sure there will be no confusion, because when things get ambiguous, because two tables have the same column name, you might get an error in SQL. So I'm just specifying which table we're getting the value from. Okay, so if all goes well, listing sections, articles should work. Okay, it's working. So now we could add the section name column in here. So let's go to listing articles, okay, and let's go manage articles, and we could say here section, and after this one this is gonna be section name. Very straightforward. Now if we go to the page over here, you can see the section name. Now what this means, the work we did with remove article, let's go here, remove article, let me check something quickly. Oh, that was in the list, right? Let me see. This will be set only in the lists. Yeah, not yeah. So yeah, I suppose this is it. So basically now when we edit, we can select this section, no problem. When we want to remove, we will see the section here, no problem, and so on. And basically, if you want, you could use this technique when loading a single record, and this way you avoid loading the section information altogether. Or there is another way, instead of uh, instead of doing this trick, you could add to the article object a section object, and basically after loading the article you load the section and fill the object, and you will have access to all of the properties. There are always many ways to do the same thing, but each way has its pros and cons. Okay, so uh, let me see our progress now. So where is it? First, our to do. Let me see. We create article table class. We did these. The administrator can basically add an article, edits an article, and removes an article. So we finished all these things, right? That is awesome. Okay, let me go to the progress, and yeah, so okay, now administrator can now list articles, edits, and removes an article. Okay, so this is all good and nice. So let's go here, go here, go here. And we are going to commit the changes. Awesome. Okay. Close all but close others. Okay. That is good. Now let's go back to our to-do. So I finished that, and now we are going to the main work. So all this was, things to be filled by the administrator, and now we are going to render the main website, if that makes sense. So if you look at our logic, basically we created the control, and there is the admin control, and its job is to manage the user interface for the administrator. And there is the view, which is used to render things for the home page or the website itself. So let's have a look. So now I will go here and I will just say view and enter. This is the home page. So far so good. So what need to be done now is to find a way to render the information we have. So the sections that we created will be the main categories of the site, or let's say, for example, the menu. So we are going to allow or display menus, a menu, or list the sections, and each section will allow us to view its articles, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, so if we go to the, what is it? Yeah, website list sections. Okay, so let's work on this. Let's do this and stop. Let me see. So we will go to the logic of the view over here. And first thing first, we need to do a number of includes like the administrator. So let me go over here and we will get these guys. So far so good. And we will include the files. Oops. Okay. So here we are including all this information, right? So we will, I always like to, put these comments just to make the code easier to understand. Okay, so home page logic. So if the action is just home, that's fine. Then this is the code of the home page. So all I have to do is to open a connection to the database here and get the sections. So open connection to DB and get all sections, then we render the home page, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go here. I want to copy a few things. Where is open database? Okay, so this is the part where we open the database. Okay, so let's go in here. So we try to open the database. If nothing happens, could not connect to the database, so the site cannot be rendered, and that's it. Okay, and we just we are going to echo this message and stop execution. Okay, because if there's an error here, nothing could be rendered at all. Echo and die, so the execution stops. So we will get the sections next. We will say, come on, semicolon. We will get the sections. So sections equals section, get all sections, I think, db, right? What was it? Get all sections. Let me see, how did I call it? Get all, oh, get sections. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about this stupid mistake. So we get this one. If there is any error, we also stop the rendering right away, because the rendering of the website only works if you have connection to the database, so we don't redirect. Okay, so the last thing to do is to include the accurate page. So we have this admin folder, and this is going to be we are going to create a new folder. We call it view. Okay, and in this one we are going to create, let's say, the home view or something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna say home.php. Okay, so let's go to here, and I will just say, oops, I will just say include dir, get the current directory up one level, and then go to pages, and then go to view, and then go to home.php. Very straightforward. That's it. Okay, and we already have sections. Okay, so let's have a look, and let us refresh, and we get nothing. That is totally fine, because we have nothing being rendered in the page. Okay, so let's go to our view page, and we want to render the list of sections. Okay, so we have PHP. Okay, so render list of sections. Okay, so we are going to say for I equals 0 and I smaller than count of sections, and then we have I plus a plus. Okay, and now we want to just display the section name, if that makes sense. So we will write some HTML in here. So we have div, okay, style, display, and line. I think what was it was something like that, and question mark equal something like this. This is gonna be sections of I arrow section name. Now, one important thing, we just need to make sure that this is enabled. So if sections of I arrow status equals enabled, in that case we put this between the brackets to be rendered. Otherwise we do not render the section. Okay, so let's go back in here. Okay, so we have trips, gardens, and lakes. So let me go to the admin and disable one of them. Okay, manage sections, and now we am going to edit the gardens and disable them. Okay, so now we have the gardens disabled. Now if I refresh the views, you can only see trips and lakes. Okay, so this is you know, very simple stuff. Now we are going to render this as menu, so it will be better if we split things in here into menus, if that makes sense. Okay, so I am going to write a new file here. I'm gonna say menu.php, okay, and PHP, and also all I am going to say here, make sure that sections is set because it is being used to render a menu. Okay, so this code I'm going to cut it from here and paste it in here. Okay, and I save. So in the home page I will just say include menu.php. Now nothing's gonna change in here, but if you add other pages, you just say include menu and you will have the list rendered to you right away. So far so good. Now I'm going to go here and say the following: online CSS menu generator. Okay, so here I'm going to try and search for an online template to render a menu or something like this. So we have demo, something like this. Yeah, so you can see these. Maybe this is not the best one. Let's search for something else. Online CSS menu generator. Was it the same? I'm not sure. Menu generator, menu maker. Okay, so menu maker. Let's go to this one. So we have these. You can see these are what? These are simple CSS menus. We could use them, if that makes sense. Yeah. So this looks like a little bit complicated. I want something simple. Uh, yeah, live demo, free download. Okay, let's have something else in here. Okay, maybe something as simple as this one if you have a look in here. So I think we could, we have menu bar, we have top menu. Oh, okay, menu design. Yeah, I think this will do. What is it? I will download this right away. And let's open the file. And what do we have? We have a CSS, there you go. And we have also some JavaScript files, if that makes sense. And let's open this one. Yeah, you can see it is something in here. Okay, that's fine. Oops, my mistake. No, there you go. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, there you go. It's already here. I didn't notice it. Very sorry. So this is the CSS for the menu. Okay, if that makes sense. So we could use this one. And this is the JavaScript that we need. And this is the HTML that is needed to generate the menu. Okay, so we are going to use this one to make the menu look a little bit professional. So first things first, I'm going to include this. Okay, so I am going to copy this code. Well, you know what? Why I am being lazy in here? Let me just, download all of this right away. Open the file. And this is the CSS style. I will just copy it. Go into here. And, well, in this one, I am going to the CSS and paste it. Reveal in File Explorer, and inside this one I will just paste. There you go. So instead of a style, I'm gonna call this on or rename it to menu style, okay, so that the name does not collide and cause issues. Okay, and also I am going to add a folder for JS, new folder JS. This is for JavaScript. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, copy and go to JS. This is gonna be menu JS. Enter. Okay, so we have these guys, and finally let's go to the menu. Okay, so first thing we need to include the files, okay, that are used to render the menu, if that makes sense. So we need to make to add a link tab in HTML, if I'm not mistaken. And where is that? I did something similar in these. Okay, let me see. There you go. Copy, close here, and before this we just write this. So we have a style sheet inside pages, inside CSS. We call this menu style.css, menu style.css. This is the first one. And how do you include JavaScript file? Okay. HTML, how to include JS file. Come on. Okay, so we have to write this script. There you go. Now we just need to write it like that. So the script file need to be what? Sorry. It's not CSS. There's going to be JS followed by menu.js.js. Menu.js.js. There you go. Okay, so far so good. So before we continue, let's just refresh the page, make sure no error happens. No error happened. That's great. And now let us go to the HTML page. Okay, so you have this one, the home. This is a link, li drop down. Okay, so li UI. Okay, and does it have to be a menu? Okay, so let us do this. So here I am just copying an existing CSS and applying it to the what's available. So come on, each entry is li, and this is ul has a class. Okay, so I think I'll use ul first, and these will be next. All right, so this will be the category. So ul li. Okay, let's try this out. Sorry. ul right, ul/ul. Okay, so let's try this out, but I didn't create a class for it, right? So let's try this out first. ul, and I'm applying this class to it. Let us try this. Okay, so you can see now it just being displayed like this. This is not good. Obviously there are things that are not working, so I need to specify the navigation, so there need to be a nav/nav. Yeah, so this will be nav, and here nav, and we refresh again. That didn't work. What am I doing wrong in here? So style type, ID, update menu. Okay, ul. So that is ul, and then it get finished in here. That is weird. Okay, where's the home? This is home. This is li. Could it be that this need to be li, and this is, wait a minute, li. Okay. Okay. So still not being rendered as expected. Oh, maybe I need to apply this part. to it. Okay, so let me set the menu ID, navigation menu, something like that, and then type checkbox. What checkbox do we have? We don't have a checkbox in here. Why? ID responsive menu, on a click, update menu. Okay, so let's save this. Let's refresh. Okay, I forgot to set the ID, and now this is better. What also do we need to do? So this need to be UL. So there's basically a big UL and then LI. So we need to have it is taking me forever. I know someone's pulling their hair out. I'm very sorry about that, but I am not good in HTML. However, okay. Why? It is adjacent to one another. Okay, so this is the menu, checkbox responsive menu, on a click, label. So we have LI, the next one, and LI, and so on. Okay, so navigation UL, LI. So we have navigation UL, and this is it, and we have a number of LIs. Did it put anything between them? Did not, obviously. And actually it just added links. So let me put this inside links, if that makes sense. Oh, I made this a submenu. Maybe I shouldn't. Okay. So we have this one. Maybe I need to put this as A followed by and we save, and now we refresh. Please. Okay, now it's working finally. Very sorry about that, but anyway, have a look at this. Now our menu looks much better, and it's a little bit responsive. Okay, it took me a little bit of time, but that is because I'm not good in HTML and CS and this stuff. I'm just a programmer, so this is why. But basically, we managed now to create a simple menu, and each page we are going to add later on, we will just include menu. I mean, we don't have to, after we finish rendering this, we won't have to worry too much about adding a menu. All we have to do is just write this single line of code and include menu, and that's it. It will be added right away. We will also do something for header, and then we will allow to set a number of parameters in there and change the home page and so on. So yeah, this is the basic idea. So, and our to do, we finished listing sections. Okay, and later on, I mean tomorrow, we will work on this next step. Okay, so let me just finish this. 2022 01 17 finished rendering the main menu / sections. Okay, so it is as simple as that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.